Mr. Berkway was desperately trying to explain what he had enjoyed about that passage. He said that most of us are not aware that we might be using words such as God, which offended other people. Mary Lou leaned over to me and said, "Is he serious? Does he actually really and truly believe that Beef Brain Christie is troubled by me saying God? Which I do not, by the way, say any more anyway. Omnipotent." Christy was wearing a pious look on her face, as if God himself just come down from heaven to sit on her desk. Mr. Berkway quickly selected another journal. He flipped it open and read, "Linda, there was no Linda in our class either, is my best friend. I tell her just about everything, and she tells me everything, even things I do not want to know, like what she ate for breakfast, and what her father wears to bed, and how much her new sweater costs. Sometimes things like that are just not interesting." Mr. Berkway was saying how much he liked this passage because it showed that even though someone might be our best friend, he or she could still drive us crazy. Beth Ann turned all the way around in her seat and sent wicked eyebrow messages to Mary Lou. Mr. Berkway flipped ahead in the same journal to another passage. He read, "I think Jeremiah, there was certainly no Jeremiah in our school, is pig-headed. His skin is always pink and his hair is always clean and shiny, but he is really a jerk." I thought Mary Lou Finney was going to fall out of her chair. Alex was bright, bright pink. He looked at Mary Lou as if she had recently plunged a red-hot stake into his heart. Mary Lou said, "No, it isn't what you think. Mizako said, "What is jerk?" about 20 times. Mr. Berkway tried to explain that he liked the passage because it showed conflicting feelings about someone. "I'll say it does," Alex said. The bell rang. First, you could hear sighs of relief from the people whose journals had not been read, and then people started talking a mile a minute. "Hey, Mary Lou, look at Alex's pink skin." And "Hey, Mary Lou, what does Beth's and father's sorry. Hey, Mary Lou, what does Beth Ann's father wear to bed?" Beth Ann was standing about 1 inch away from Mary Lou's face. "I do not talk on," Beth Ann said. "And that wasn't very nice of you to mention that, and I do not tell you everything, and the only reason I ever mentioned what my father wore to bed was because we were talking, if you will recall, about men's bathing suits being more comfortable than women's, and on she went. Mary Lou was trying to get across the room to Alex, who was standing there as pink as could be. "Alex," she called, "wait, I wrote that before, wait." It was a jing bang of a mess. I was glad I had to get out of there. Phoebe and I were going to the police again. Our visit to the police was quick. We got in to see Sergeant Bickle right away. Phoebe slapped the newest message about the water in the well onto his desk, dumped the hairs on which she had collected at Mrs. Cadaver's house on top of the message, and then placed her list full of further items to investigate on top of that. Sergeant Bickle frowned. "I don't think you girls understand. Why don't you take these things home and do something wholesome, like run around the block or play a game of tennis?" Phoebe went into a rage. "You idiot," she said. She scooped up the message and the hairs and her list and ran out of the office. Sergeant Bickle glanced at me and and I followed her. I waited thinking he would bring Phoebe back and calm her down. I looked at the photographs on his desk, the ones I had not been able to see the day before. In one was Sergeant Bickle and a friendly looking woman, his wife, I supposed. The second picture was of a shiny black car. The third picture was of Sergeant Bickle, the woman, and a young man. Their son, I figured. I looked closer. I recognized the son. It was the lunatic.